shoes. Card 1, the show was about to begin. Visual, a dark theater curtain opens onto a suspended travel world containing airport lights, the Haifa hillside, the sea, notebook pages, family photographs, holy sites, nightlife, airplanes, and poems. Young Eric prepares to enter his own story. Caption, welcome. The journey is about to begin. Narration, Eric opens the book like a performance. The audience is not receiving a neutral report. It is entering lived moments staged through memory, poetry, humor, grief, spirituality, and personality. Card 2, the trip, carried a piece of his heart. Visual, Eric places a handwritten manuscript, family photograph, camera, and symbolic piece of his heart into an open travel case. Caption, the gift contained more than a travel record. Narration, Eric describes the book as giving the audience a piece of his heart. The journey carries family grief, identity, anger, laughter, spiritual searching, and the desire to be understood. Card 3, this was Israel with Eric Johnson's personality. Visual, Israel's landscape is viewed through a transparent lens marked Eric Johnson. Through it appear humor, family, cultural mistakes, spirituality, nightlife, and contradiction while the country remains larger than the frame. Caption, the country was real, the telling passed through Eric. Narration, this is Israel as Eric encountered and interpreted it. The places and people exist beyond his account. The story records what entered his perception and what his personality made from it. Card 4, close your eyes before you enter. Visual, a reader closes their eyes at the entrance to the story. Familiar assumptions dim while the first travel images wait beyond the threshold. Caption, leave your first answer outside the door. Narration, Eric asks the reader to close their eyes before entering. The instruction is a temporary suspension of the reflex to classify everything through an existing position. Card 5, walk in someone else's shoes. Visual, Eric's travel shoes wait at the threshold. As the reader steps into them, the viewpoint shifts into airport corridors, a waiting sister, the Haifa hillside, and a notebook held in Eric's hands. Caption, understanding required entering another person's position. Narration, the reader is invited to walk in Eric's shoes, not to agree with every conclusion, but to understand how those conclusions became possible from inside his experience. Card 6, perception became personal reality. Visual, 3 people observe the same event from different positions, noticing different details, risks, meanings, and emotional stakes, while one shared external event remains beneath their perspectives. What a person sees shapes what feels real. Narration, perception becomes personal reality because people act through what they notice, remember, fear, desire, and understand. The doctrine explains experience without eliminating the need to test facts. Card 7, chronology was the contract. Visual, a continuous timeline moves from North Carolina through JFK, Tel Aviv, Haifa, holy sites, family conflict, cultural encounters, the return flight, customs, and home. Caption, the meaning changes when the order is preserved. Narration, Eric insists that the story unfold chronologically. Each event changes the person who enters the next one. The conclusion cannot be understood without watching the sequence that produced it. Card 8, the book preserved trapped moments of time. Visual, poems, conversations, mistakes, laughter, grief, prayer, and cultural misunderstandings are suspended inside transparent archival frames containing the original moment, memory, and later interpretation. Caption, the moment was preserved before hindsight could make it clean. Narration, the manuscript traps moments of time. Young Eric's immediate language, assumptions, uncertainty, humor, and spiritual interpretation remain visible even when later Eric might explain them differently. Card 9. Reading to dismiss was not enough. Visual, one reader races through the pages collecting isolated phrases for dismissal without entering the chronology, context, or emotional sequence. Caption, a verdict formed before understanding is not scholarship. Narration, Eric rejects the critic who reads only to react. The problem is not criticism itself. It is approaching the work with a completed verdict and using the text only to decorate it. Card 10. The scholar entered seeking answers. A second reader enters with a notebook, open questions, multiple sources, attention to chronology, tolerance for contradiction, and a willingness to revise assumptions. Caption, the scholar entered with questions instead of a finished verdict. Narration. Eric welcomes the scholar seeking answers. Scholarship here is a posture. Listen, compare, question, preserve uncertainty, and allow evidence to alter the first interpretation. Card 11. If you are not ready, stay outside. Visual. At the theater entrance, 2 choices remain. Enter honestly and return when ready. Beyond the door wait grief, profanity, religion, alcohol, ego, family conflict, spirituality, uncertainty, and humor. Caption. The journey required honesty from the audience, too. Narration. Eric tells the unprepared reader to stay away. Entering requires enough honesty to encounter material that may offend, confuse, move, or contradict the reader. This was how Eric knew how to pray. Visual. Before departure, Eric sits alone writing in a notebook. His words become memory, confession, questions, poetry, prayer, and a travel path as a distant boarding announcement begins. Caption. The pen became the place where Eric spoke honestly to God. Narration. Eric calls this the way he knows how to pray. Writing becomes the place where memory, argument, grief, humor, God, and the self can meet without pretending certainty.